Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, call Dash. Salutations go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Also, salutations go out to the fellow Akim out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth across the four corners of the earth, trying to wake up the remaining hopeful elect. Alright. This is Nam out of the DC camp, and once again I'm bringing another video to you by Black Jones. And like I said, this whole site is in and of itself, you know, you could just put your hand over your eyes and just scroll down and just pick one. It's, you know, reasons why to hate these Edomites, these damn devils, these so-called white people. You know. In this particular one, we're going to be examining the hypocrites that they are. And it's funny, well, not funny as in ha-ha. But the strange thing is that in the last few years, they've been talking about this CRT, critical race theory, and we know it's bullshit. But the thing is, they're accusing us of propaganda, trying to divide, but that's all you've ever done. You've selectively, ostracized a people that you brought over here, to make you rich. You've belittled them. You've kept them from creating generational wealth to sustain themselves. You played this game, the amount of mental torture in and of itself, I always say it's no small miracle that we're still here, which is proof in and of itself, that there's a divine hand at work, We're the ones being chastised, as the scriptures say. The prophecies fit us, not the ones pretending to be us, not the Israelis, which merely means they occupy the land over there. It's not theirs. The Greek pretenders, I call them. And now that I say that, I'm going to have that song playing in my head from now on. But in any case, yeah, that's what they are. And they have deceived the world, again, which was prophecy. So here we are. It says 10 hypocritical U.S. founders who owned slaves. The hypocrisy is staggering. Here it is. As you can see, the first line here says, all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I just explained that they cut us off from that purposely. We were brought here to generate, I should say, wealth from them, or for them. And also, I'm going to prove that this nation was never founded on so-called Christian principles. You got to understand, this is their version of our book. Anyway, let's go ahead and play this. I've already 4 minutes, so let's go ahead and roll the video, and we'll go from there. This piece of shit here. Hypocrites. Who cares? Salakia, Akim, Salakia, Salakia. And you should remember him from Amistad. He was the one that defended uh, the slaves there. All right. He was out of office, ran, his law practice, and he's the one that, if you ever saw the movie, that's John Quincy Adams. Right down from where I am. And he's damn right, it is an unspeakable horror, and it continues. And that's the thing people don't want to understand. All right, they keep talking about this Holocaust bullshit, and that's just what it is, bullshit. You gotta understand. These people knew what was going on over here. You've got the same people, but they had to have something, because you already had a people that could identify what's with the prophecies of the Bible identified, all right, as the children of Israel. So here you come, World War II, and those years leading up to it. So they invented this story, all right, about, Hitler, the extermination of the Jews and all this bullshit. And that comes not out of the scriptures, but that comes out of that Jewish Kabbalah, that mysticism bullshit. I believe that was in a speech in the late 1897, somewhere around there, when you got Theodore Herzl, all right? So, no, that had nothing to do with, the scriptures. And there have been several high-profile so-called Jews that stated as such that, they put themselves in situations to where they could, hope to be called Jews, like growing up in the ghettos. Those things are self-afflicted, I guess you could say, in hopes, the women cutting off their hair when it's clear that, they make so much money off of our women with these hair care products and weaves and all that stuff, because our women's hair, as is in Isaiah the 3rd chapter, that's a curse. All right? Starting at verse 16 on down. That's one of those curses. All right? Not them. Again, trying to make themselves fit certain prophecies. But only an idiot, all right, is going to believe that. And it's largely due to Edomite/white supremacy that even happens. Continuing on. They're not. See, they always look, and you can't. People are being played, and it's not even fun anymore. In fact, it makes you mad, because this motherfucker isn't our people. He's been coached. He's been what's the word he uses for the military, for the officers? Damn it. At a certain rank, I think it's a major up. They're what is that word? Almost had it. Damn it. Oh man, I hate when that happens. But in any way, he was, this is planned from a long time ago. Because you have a bunch of simps, especially amongst our people. They got a sense of what's going on with the people. They hold all these surveys and everything, and they look at the numbers, the polls, all right? People were losing, especially our people, losing all hope. So here comes this jackass on a white horse. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. He's not even our people, all right? He's an actual Hamite. We are not. And the jury is out on whatever that thing is, posing as his wife. I mean, that's a whole nother video. But our people are so stupid. So, that's of course, but so gullible. All right? And who did he help? Not us. He helped the LGBTQ. As Joan Rivers stated, and then she ended up dead, but anyway, damn. Yeah, our people are just gullible as hell. Give them what they want. Give them a black president. And our people fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. This is indeed the setup we're in, the system. It is indeed a pit. And that's why we need salvation. Continue on. That's what it was all about, to amass wealth at the expense of our people, off the backs, off the blood, sweat, and tears of our people, and don't want to give them shit. Don't even want to acknowledge them. Don't even want people to know that this is what happened after all the horrors are coming out as to what actually happened. Not the watered down version that you get in your history books that you're taught in these, if you're taught anything in the schools. Now they're trying to rewrite it. All right. Oh, but I thought, what's wrong? CRT, critical race theory. No, you need that. Our people just need, when they start talking about that whole hoax bullshit, just get up and walk out. That's what I hope to see. But no, they rather have drag queens teach it. I mean, the amount of hypocrisy and wickedness just blows your mind. Let me read this scripture here. Hold on. Let's see. This is Job 27 and 8. Because this is what it is. You got to understand. From 1492, it still goes on now, but let's just say up until the eve of the Civil War. And the reason I stop it there is because a certain book came out right before the breakout of the Civil War. It had to do with evolution. It was Charles Darwin's book, all right? So you had three stages. You had from the edicts or papal bulls of the Catholic Church, and these so-called Jews, they set out on their quest. And it started out, you had three stages there. You had, first, it was for economic reasons. Some would say religious, either or. Those kind of depending on how you bring it up. Some will switch those from time to time. Let's just say religion. All right, cool. Closely intertwined with what? Greed. All right, they wanted to get that gold and silver. So those two are closely linked, but yet still they're, separate. So that lasted for a few hundred years, and then finally, like I said, the eve of the Civil War, you had this Charles Darwin thing. Now, all of a sudden, we were, the reason we were in the state that we're in as a people is because of evolution. Why? The white man, you compare a tree to a grade of grass, to a blade of grass, excuse me. Well, that's the white man up here, and you got the black man down here. I mean, all kinds of, stupid bullshit, they had a term called drapetomania, where when we sought to escape our conditions, we had a mental disease. Yeah. So, so that period is also known as the greatest transfer of wealth that the world had known. All right, so that's our punishment. You hear all the stories and read all the stories about all the gold and silver they acquired, all the atrocities they committed to get these things. Also, how many or how much of it was lost at sea because of storms. Just in the Caribbean area alone. But this is Job 27 and 8. It says, "For what is the hope of the hypocrite?" And that's who we're dealing with. "Though he hath gained, when the Most High taketh away his soul." At the end, what is it worth? And that's what's going to happen to you, devils. All this is going to be for naught. All right, you have been allowed to get away. You are still that fugitive. All right, that vagabond from Genesis 4th chapter. All right, let's see, hypocrite. This is Strong's H 2611. All right, quanap, soiled, that is, with sin. Impious, despite all the pomp you see with the Catholic Church, with the fine robes and the gold and the the huge churches, cathedrals, whatever. All right, which when you look at the inside, it look like a grove, like you're out in the groves, out in the woods. It's pagan bullshit. That's all it is. All right, again, quanap, soil, that is, with sin, iniquity, impious, hypocrite. That's what you're dealing with. All right. His end, he doesn't realize he's been set up unlike any other before or ever will be after him. And it's beautiful knowing this. All right. So let's go back to the video. Every aspect. Say that again. Every aspect. I apologize. See, they always say that, but you got to remember, they're talking about the British, but what about the Spanish? All right, and what now is Florida? So you're going to have to go back to the 1500s, the earlier 1500s, as a matter of fact. Yeah, that's in the scriptures. In fact, Exodus 21st chapter. All right, how to deal with a Hebrew slave. All right, 6 years, and the 7th year, go free. But what did this devil do? What do you expect the devil to do? All right, continuing on. Again, proof that, all right, you're not dealing with people who honored the scriptures as they profess to do. All right, you're supposed to be following it. It goes into Psalms 50th chapter, starting at verse 16. Let's get there real quick. All right, this is what he's guilty of, and as a result, guess what? Those curses now fall on you. Let's go to Psalms 50:16. He says, "But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction," and this devil does. That's the whole history of Edom. All right? He hates instruction. And castest my words behind me. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son, which he does constantly. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Right? Going into what? Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. All right? Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before. See what's going to set, and he's doing it now. Amos, the 9th chapter. All right, the house of David is being held. These idiots think it's going to be a physical house. They're waiting for the new temple to be built over there in Jerusalem, the 3rd temple. All right, not realizing that it's spiritual. All right, so let's see. I quoted. What did I quote? Ecclesiastes. All right, because this is what they're saying. The Most High must be with us because he has not done. But again, referencing Genesis 4th chapter. All right, whoever harms Cain, it's going to be, kills him, it's going to be what? 7 times. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. All right. Think Hebrews 12th chapter. All right, starting at verse 6. These things, again, these things identify us, all right, about being chastised. You endure chastisement. Let's get it real quick so you understand where I'm coming from. This is Hebrews 12:6. And you go up a little bit here, it says, it says, for whom the Most High loveth, he chasteneth. So this is a sign of love. We're being corrected, all right, or an attempt to do such, and those that do not fall into 2/3 category. You do not want to fall into 2/3 category, because you get what Edom, the so-called white man, these other nations, but primarily Edom. For whom the Most High loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? What do these devils do? They pass these laws. If you discipline your kids like you should, you're not supposed to spare the rod. All right. Now they give power to the children. They can have you prosecuted. This is some backwards ass shit. But again, it goes to them knowing who we really are. 7. If ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastisement, here's what they don't consider. All right. But if they've gotten away with so much for so long, it says, but if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Uh-oh. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? And then it defines it even further when you go into 2 Maccabees 6 chapter, start at 12 on down. All right, I'll come back to that later, but let's continue with this video. And you don't think these motherfuckers are gonna pay? I just read the scriptures in Hebrews 12th chapter about being chastised and what is actually going on if you are not being chastised. All right. See, these fools, which they are, got it backwards. They think that, you know, their economic prowess, and when you get straight down to it, they don't think they did anything wrong. They have deluded themselves, self-delusion, into thinking that, yeah, we got it good. Yeah, God favors us. You know, that goes into the enterprise part of it. All right. But again, you didn't read the fine print. All right. When it comes to manifest destiny, there's more to it. Continuing on. It's hypocrisy is what it is. And you're going to have these fucking pieces of shit that are going to come to defense. Well, you got to understand, it was a different time back then. And, no, a hypocrite is a hypocrite is a hypocrite. A liar is a liar is a liar. Don't miss me with that fucking, well, it was the times. Okay. What other historical events could I make that same argument to? That's going to piss a lot of people off. Not that I give a shit, but yeah, we need to start, hey, give it as good as you get. All right. And I'm talking about for argument's sake. I'm not talking about doing anything stupid. All right. So don't, let's clarify that right now. All right. Like the scripture says, be angry but sin not. All right. Continuing on. Nope. Bar none, the greatest suffering of any people. All right, because this system was different than any other before it or since. All right, so anytime you hear an idiot try to compare, well, slavery's been around since the beginning of the world. True, but there's more to it. This is a whole different thing here, whole different animal. All right, whole different. For one, we are still in captivity. All right, this is a carefully crafted illusion. All right, then you're gonna have some idiot say, well, we're all slaves now. We're working slaves. We're working stiffs. But who's still at the bottom, you piece of shit? Who's the one that, when they get pulled over, they got to worry about getting shot at least 60 times? It's not you. Who's automatically under surveillance every time he goes into a store? Whose own people are being used against him, or against them, his others, for justifying all these crime bills, and because of their being manipulated through social media, the music industry, Hollywood. It's a constant war against our people. And this devil is very slick. Devil meaning liar and deceiver. All right. He comes at us at all angles. He even uses our own. Continuing on. Fake. Hypocrite. Liar. There go your police force. About those tender mercies. He's still, man, this devil boy, god dang. Oh, you think? Mm-hmm. So let's clear something up. He was not at all concerned with the well-being of our people. This was to keep the so-called white folk safe. Not that it was wrong, and the people just they were tired of the bullshit, and they wanted to get away. No, no. Well, we'll send them over, somewhere in Africa. Now, you notice Madison started what Monroe is going to set up. So let's continue. Mm-hmm. Old Hickory. Uh-oh. He didn't go into it, but what I mentioned about what Madison started in Monroe with Liberia, all right, and some slaves went over there, and I believe they call it Monrovia or something like that. That's where it got the name of, in honor of that devil. Continuing on. God dang. This fool. Damn fool was out there giving a speech in the cold and rain. Like, fuck him, trying to be the tough guy, all right? Blacks. There's nothing black about me. Alright? We're different shades of brown. Black. Alright, so let's finish up with this article I found. It says America is not a Christian nation and never has been. For you jackasses out there that still cling on to that lie. Alright, the text, and this is by Aaron Kelly, and this came out in February of 2018. Alright, it says, the text of the U.S. Constitution makes no mention of the Most High, His Son, or Christianity. The Founding Fathers' religion wasn't always worn on their sleeves. Looking back, it's quite difficult to tell where some of our nation's great leaders fell on the religious scale. Deism was popular at the time, the belief in the Most High as creator of all things, but not as a miracle worker or one that answers to prayer. Really, let you know, the Most High was never in these demons' thoughts. He can't. They are the wicked. Alright? Sure, there are the books written and speeches given, but often personal letters and eyewitnesses are a more accurate gauge of belief. As with any time period, there are sometimes those who aren't what they seem or claim to be on the surface. Again, I've been saying hypocrites throughout this whole video. These are the hypocrite of hypocrites, is what we're dealing with. These are the men that fought for religious freedom and the separation of church and state. In fact, the Most High, His Son, Yahushua, and Christianity are not stated once in all of the Constitution. And it is clearly done so on purpose. The Constitution even bars all laws from respecting an establishment of religion, while also protecting the free exercise thereof. Remember, the Founding Fathers understood the history. They'd seen how the Christian governments of Europe took advantage of the individual freedom of its citizens. They'd seen the constant internal bickering and wars amongst Christian factions. Again, Christianity as it was taught is not in the scriptures. This is the enemy, the Edomites' version of our book. Even though the Constitution states that no religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States, today some of these very men will be deemed unfit to lead on their respective platforms. All right, to hold them up as a pinnacle of Christianity is likely as false as George Washington's teeth. Here are some of the surprising faiths of our founding fathers. Thomas Jefferson, the man that composed the Declaration of Independence, was more interested in protecting religious freedom than imposing religion upon anyone else. It was this very freedom that allowed Jefferson to cut up his Bible and take out anything he didn't like. Mainly, that included any mention of miracles or things that were contrary to reason, because, of course, the so-called white man's reason, all right, he puts that above the Most High. All right. Jefferson's custom assemblage of Bible passages was never meant to be published. It was strictly for his own use. However, it acquired a name, the life and morals of Jesus of Nazareth. Almost 70 years after he died, Jefferson's great-granddaughter sold the book to the Smithsonian Institution. And I quote, "I am of a sect by myself as far as I know." This stance caused a slight ruckus in the presidential election of 1800 when the Federalists attacked him as being atheist. Nevertheless, Jefferson won that election, running under the Democratic Republican Party. In 1823, Jefferson wrote to John Adams, famously remarking, "The day will come when the mystical generation of Jesus by the Supreme Being in the womb of a virgin will be classed with the fable of the generation of Minerva in the brain of Jupiter. But we may hope that the dawn of reason and freedom of thought in these United States will do away with all this artificial scaffolding." This is what they mean by freedom, people. They intend to keep us, all right, to separate us, all right, from what is ours. And this is why we're being punished in the first damn place, all right, because we turned our back on the Most High, all right, and we didn't obey the law, statutes, and commandments as we, all right. The covenant is a contract. It's an agreement. We broke it. There's penalties for breach of contract, even in man's law. John Adams, the government of the United States of America is not, in any sense, funded on the Christian religion. These words placed in that 1796 Treaty of Tripoli by founding father and first Vice President John Adams are often used as a springboard for debate. While those words are printed in black and white, there is some underlying context to consider. The treaty goes on to say that it is declared by the parties that no pretext arising from religious opinion shall ever produce an interruption of the harmony existing between the two countries, which gives the context of religious opinions as an invalid excuse to go against the treaty. So perhaps that snippet of one document doesn't prove Adams' reluctance to full-heartedly embrace Christianity, but later he recognized the rise of sects and schisms, heresies and bigotries, which have abounded in the Christian world, all right? And this person here, another founding father with an unclear belief system, was more than any our very first president, George Washington. To say his religion is unclear simply brings notice that there are many books written about Washington, and all of them put him anywhere in the spectrum between Orthodox Christian and strict deist. Washington used terms such as providence or supreme architect when making speeches or writings. These are deist terms, but not exclusively so. Washington did not use the names Jesus or Christ in public appearances, but again, Many at the time did not. Born into Protestants, Washington certainly frequented church as a child, but reportedly did not stand regularly as an adult. Did not attend regularly as an adult or participate in religious rites. He often, and there's a picture of him in full Freemasonry regalia. All right. These were Freemasons. These were warlocks. All right. He often left service before communion, and when called out on it, stopped attending that church on communion days. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Thomas Paine, this devil. Thomas Paine, a proponent of free thought and reason, Paine had one of the more defined belief systems. He lamented institutionalized religion, and Christianity in particular. In his younger days, some of the hardships he endured would sway others to the comforting arms of the church. Paine's wife died in childbirth, and his child died as well. But Thomas Paine made no qualms about his radical deism, calling the Bible the pretended Word of God. And we know he's read it because he tears it a new one, book by book, in his writing, The Age of Reason. Whenever we read the obscene stories, the voluptuous debaucheries, the cruel and torturous executions, the unrelenting vindictiveness with which more than half the Bible is filled, it would be more consistent that we call it the word of a demon than the word of God, he writes. Paine may have never held public office, but is deemed a founding father nonetheless. There weren't many American revolutionary rebels who didn't read Paine's pamphlet, Common Sense, which shaped the demand for independence from Great Britain. Without Paine, the United States might still be under British rule. Who says it ever left? All right, so there you have it. These devils here. These are the ones that are basically deified, all right, in the minds of many or most Americans, especially of Edom. Hey, you got some jakes too that look up to these pieces of shit, not take into account what condition our people were in during that time. You know, I like to say common sense isn't always common. Hey, I had to go there. All right, hey, so there you have it. Yeah, we live in a system that's run by the hypocrite of hypocrites amongst all the nations. Hey, but his time is, is short, as the scriptures say, Revelation 12 and 12. This is why you're going to see things speed up, all right? He's got to get this money thing going. He's got it, and then at the same time, you got this supposed new wave of a particular strain of, here we go again. Anything now. I must say, I found out that they're trying to, how am I going to say it? Make it to where it's aerosolized, if that's a word, to where it's breathed in. You don't have to get consent now to get, that jibby jab. Yeah, so he's trying to get this into as many people as he can, because they have an agenda for you people that still think everything's a fucking conspiracy theory. All right. So with that, hey, until the next video, I've gone over an hour now. Again, America's not a Christian nation, never has been. And of course, the video, this has been hidden from you, and it talks about the hypocritical presidents, leaders of this country, all right, concerning slavery. And that goes on to this day, critical race theory. Why wouldn't you want people to know, and why wouldn't you want your kids to know the real past? All right, so with that, hey, until the next video, hey, shalom, shalom. Keep praying for yourself, your brethren out there on the highways and byways across the four corners of the earth. Like I said, when I open this up, continue to pray. All right, so at that, shalom.